Hey guys, the Texan Hunter here, coming back at you with another Fishing Planet video. Today I'm doing a beginner's guide for how to build the perfect fishing rod. So I'm helping a lot of people here recently that keep breaking their fishing rods or they keep breaking their line and they don't understand why. And actually it boils down to how you build your fishing rod. So let's go over here to the shop, okay? So we're going to build let's say we're going to build a spinning rod here. Let's just get a spinning rod up here. Now, all right, so the value spin 3'6", okay? And it shows you over here on this side that it can handle lure weights from 1/6 ounce to 5 ounce and line up to 6.5 pounds, okay? So the most important thing that you want to focus on when building a rod is this right here, the maximum line weight, which is 6.5 pounds. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to assemble the best lightweight fishing rod that I believe that is in this game. So we're going to go over here, and what we're going to find is the Jig Winner 8'10", and here's why. You see this Jig Winner 6'10", 7'10", 8'10". The longer the rod, the further it can cast, okay? And because this is 10 foot or 8'10", this rod actually can cast anything from the lightest lure in the game that you can buy, a little tiny micro jig, all the way up to a 5/8 ounce lure over 200 feet. So it's got amazing casting ability, and it's also lightweight, so you can catch a lot of those smaller fish, okay? So now let's look here. The Jig Winner 8'10" can handle line up to 13 pounds. When building a fishing rod, you want to start with your rod. Choose your rod first and see what the maximum line weight it can handle, okay? And that is going to be the determining factor for all the other components that you're going to choose for. So we're going to go ahead and buy the Jig Winner here, okay? And put that in our home inventory, okay? So let me come over here, and I'm just going to clear out this right here. Put it in home, boom, it's all gone. All right, so now we have an empty slot here. We're going to build our Jig Winner. So let's go back over here to our rods and our home, and we're going to find our Jig Winner 8'10". So we have our rod. Now we got to choose a reel, okay? So we're going to look using the 13 pound. We need to find a reel that is less than 13 pounds. Whenever you're building a rod, you always want to buy a reel with a max drag capacity that is lower than the max poundage of the rod. If you buy one that has a stronger drag and you accidentally raise the drag to higher than your rod, you're going to break your rod almost instantly when you get a fish. But if you keep the reels down below this poundage right here, which is 13 pound, the max drag, you'll never break your rod, okay? And I found so many people keep breaking their rods because they put overpowered reels on them. If you build your rod according to this guide right here, you will never break your rod or break your line, okay? Now, let's go ahead and see. We can see over here, 12 point, this one right here is the, that's a good one right there, 12.1 pounds. The Beamer, 12.5 pounds, okay? So let's see, this one here is 12.1 pounds, and that's the 13. So this one right here is 13.2 pounds. Don't put this reel on that rod, because if you accidentally increase the drag to maximum, you'll instantly break the rod, okay? It's just going to snap. And then the rod, now here's an important thing. Rods are not repairable, whereas reels are repairable. So if you break the reel, you can actually pay to repair it without having to buy a new one. If you break the rod, you have to buy a whole new rod. So what we're going to do here now, why would we choose one or other of these reels? Okay, so there's other factors on the reel. This one is 12.1 pounds. It can handle up to 20 pound line, which you never would put 20 pound line on it, but this tells you how much line will fit on it. 20 pound braid, it can handle 135 yards. That's 35 yards, 135 yards, not 135 feet. Okay, let's go back to this one here. This one can handle 30 pound braid up to 135 yards. So this one actually has a stronger drag, and it has a bigger line capacity. So this is going to be the one that we're going to buy, okay? So we buy that one. Now let's go over to here, and there we have our Beamer 4000. We're going to put that on there, okay? All right, now we need to choose line. Now, The best thing is to choose a line weight that is in between the max drag of the reel and the under. It's over the max drag of the reel and under the poundage, max poundage of the rod. But as long as it matches the rod, as long as it's not stronger than the rod, it's okay. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go back to the shop. We're going to go to lines. We'll go to braids. And we'll go over here and see where we're at. That's 30 pound, a little bit too far. Remember, it can handle 135 yards of 30-pound line. So you're going to need a lot of line to fill this thing up. There we go, 500 yards. Let's go ahead and buy that right there. All right, now we're going to go back here to our lines. And we will find that generally it goes right in the backpack. There it is. And put that on there. So 874 feet of 13-pound line. All right, so we get a lot of line on there. That's a lot of line, almost 900 feet of line, 13 pounds. So the reel is lower than the line and the rod. So basically, in this case, you're never going to break your line and you're never going to break your rod. You may, if you drag the reel, break the reel, but remember, the reel is repairable, whereas the rod is not. Okay, so this, now whatever you want to put on here, now if you want to put a leader on, you can put, let's see what leaders I have here. I have a lot of leaders in, I'll go to my home here, we'll go down here, see if I've got a leader here to put on there. There is no like 13-pound leader, so I'm just going to put a 15-pound fluorocarbon. It really doesn't matter the leader weight. It's a little bit overpowered because you can't break it anyways. So 15-pound fluorocarbon is what we're going to use. And then, you just put whatever lure that you want on it. And remember, it can only handle lures up to 5/8 ounces in weight. So basically, you can put this one on here. Boom. It says terminal tackle is optimal. But if you were to put like a 1 ounce on there, guess what it says? Too heavy. Never put too heavy of a lure on your rod or a bait. If it says it's too heavy, take it off. Put on something that is the appropriate weight, okay? But the cool thing about this rod here, guys, is that let's go down here to my backpack. Here, we're going to go down, and I have a 1/5 ounce nano spinner. Okay, that is a very light nano spinner. You know what? I'm going to buy something even lighter on this. Okay, so we'll go over here and let's buy spinners. Let's buy spinners here. And what's the lightest weight spinner we can get? It's a 1/16 ounce nano spinner. Let's buy that. That's going to go into backpack. Okay, so let's go ahead over here to Lone Star Lake with our new rod and let's go fishing with it. All right, let's get over here to the edge of the lake. Okay, so this is the max weight that I can hold. Let's just look at there. I can cast almost to the other side of the lake. Let's see how far that is with a 5/8 ounce lure. Okay, so 226 feet. We'll go ahead and reel this in. All right, let's go over here to inventory and let's put on this 1/16 ounce nano spinner. All right, let's go back. How far can this rod cast this thing? So let's go. Didn't quite get a full cast on it. 144 feet. Okay, you see, so only with this rod could you do that. That's why I consider this the best spinning rod in the game, okay? Because you can cast the smallest, lightest lure in the game, 144 feet, and still have a good rod that's going to handle everything. Let's go ahead and try out the 1/5 ounce nano spinner here, and let's give it out there. Didn't quite get a full cast on it, but let's see, 1/5 ounce. 212 feet. Okay, so it can go about 230 feet if I get a full cast. Okay, guys, let's give this new rod a try out. Let's head over to Rocky Lake. All right, guys, so here we are. Let's go ahead and see how far I can cast with this little 1/3 ounce mini crank. I literally can cast over the entire lake. So from one spot I can fish the entire lake, but there's a fish jump right there. Let's go ahead and cast right here near this shore with this mini crank, and let's see if we can't hook something. There we go. Boom. Nice one. Got a nice one on. Only got the drag up halfway. It gives a little bit of fun here. If I go ahead and crank that drag up all the way, I'll just bring him right in, no problem. But, you know, this is good rod. Got a nice fish. It's probably 3-4 pound rainbow right here. No problem. Okay, there we go. About a 3-pounder. All right, guys, so we know it can handle trout and everything, but how does it handle big fish? Let's go up to White Moose Lake and let's see if this can handle some monsters. All right, I'm going to show you where to catch the trophy and unique lake trout. You can see out there, there's some buoys out there. Let me show you what you're going to need to do this. We're going to go to a 1/2 ounce jig. So let's get a 1/2 ounce jig on. All right, and this right here, this green 3-inch shad is deadly, and I've caught a lot of trophy and unique lake trout on it. So let's get back to fishing here, and we're going to cast right out here, right at off of the tip of this rock right there. It's a good ways out there, and you can't get there with anything else but this rod. Okay, and 240 feet. You're just going to want to bump it as it goes down. You don't want to pull it. Just give it a little bump, little bump, little bump. There we go. Looking, he's taking off. That's okay. We got 874 feet of line to pull him in, and this is going to be a little fight. I'll come back to you when I get him in. There we go. Here he comes in, and 13-pound lake trout. Look there. And because we use a lighter weight rod like this, we actually got an extra 43 XP for this fish. Alright guys, there you have it. The amazing Jig Winner 8'10" is an incredibly versatile spinning rod that you can catch everything from the smallest fish to maybe 15-20 pound fish in the game. So I hope you enjoyed this video and it's helped you out. If it has, please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting. Until next time, this is the Texan Hunter reminding you to always walk softly and carry a big gun.